Well, welcome on into what might be the last class quest for this character. In all honesty, I think we've already done that. Let me go to my... Where's my camera? There it is. Couldn't find it. But based on, everything you've seen so far in this character, the last two flashpoints we've done could be done by any class. It's not really unique to the class. I think this is just your transition to get to the Hut Cartel. And everything in the Hut Cartel is, in theory, much harder to do. So it would make sense that they're doing these DPS checks for you. Plus, they also wanted to end the story. So when you do your class quests, that's not unique to the story of Star Wars The Old Republic. So what we would call Act 1 is really your class quest plus this event with Malgus. So that's what we're going to do now. And I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I really did this. I do remember this one a lot better than I remember that last one, the Battle for Ilum. Battle for Ilum is spotty at best in my memory. In fact, if I remember now that I think about it, I think you could go on and do the Fallen Emperor even if you didn't finish the Battle of Ilum. I know it kind of like leans you that way, but you see how like some of these guys were standing by these doors. I think you could still kind of provoke the quest even if you hadn't done it. Now, I could be 100% wrong about that, but I think I'm right. So we're going to do Malgus. This is the Fallen Emperor. So yeah, I'm going to also turn up the volume. Well, the volume's all the way up. So maybe it's just my headphones. Yeah, I'll just turn it up on my headphones. And I'll turn the game up a little bit too on the OBS side. So this is also a situation where you go to the panel here and you take a shuttle to where you need to go. Now we're going to go attack the Imperial fleet, basically the main ship for Malgus. And you do this even when you play Imperial, but it's almost like it's more of a compelling story to me because here you're just facing the big bad, but when you're the Imperial character, you're like, are we trying to protect the actual Emperor, or are we actually, what are we doing here? There's a lot more nuance to the story when you're playing on the Empire side. So let's go. Let's go.
I heard what Saravan did. It's just terrible. But worse will happen if we don't stop Malgus soon. Whatever happens out there, it's been a great honor fighting by your side, Master Jedi.
I am quite honored.
Right. Well, let's get this show on the road. Engines are primed, homing beacon secure. We're good to go. Next stop, Darth Malgus' space station.
And I also could be wrong. We're going to find out. Going in stealth. See, that's the kind of technology Banana does. The stealth, turn your ship invisible stuff. Alien tech. I think this is shorter than the Battle of Ilum. I could be wrong. We'll see. Maybe it'll be longer just because it's harder for me. Who knows? But if I remember right, this is actually a little bit more focused, which I appreciate. What are these dudes over here for? Am I gonna have to fight these guys? I don't know. Hologram of Arcus Wood.
Welcome to the heart of our new empire. I am Arcus Wood, engineer, architect, artist. Serve Darth Malgus well, and my technological creations will serve you.
It says secure the hangar deck.
Welcome to the heart of our new empire.
As,
I am Arcus
lore.
Wood, engineer, architect, artist. Serve Darth Malgus well, and my technological creations will serve you.
Yeah, I think I even had a hard time with this before, so let's figure this out, because there's There's 2 elites with 2 strongs, so this is going to be tough just from the beginning. Okay, let's... I think we got this. I never went to the fleet to get better mods for my equipment, so what we got is what we got. I didn't get it off in time. And remember, there is a poll in my YouTube channel. Like, if there's a class you want to see after this one, put your suggestion there. We're going to be going Imperial next. So the choices are basically Inquisitor, Jedi Warrior, Operative, or Bounty Hunter. I'm leaning toward Bounty Hunter, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay.
With the right application of technology, the impossible comes to life. We can travel faster than light. We can construct an entire fleet in weeks. And we can make the visible invisible. So when you see my engineers performing feats that make the Force look like child's play, remember that anything is possible.
He just kind of like laid down and died. All right, let's yeah, these little things here. Almost feel like I have to go back and kill a few of those guys that were at the entrance, but there's probably going to be enough. Yeah, I definitely remember this, man. This was not the easiest to do with a group. Nadia, please stop seeing the one person I'm attacking. Yeah, because you're right here and they try to like throw you off the cliff, so you have to like put yourself in a corner. You know? So if your healer or something got knocked into the down below, then you know, you had to just defeat these and hope you live through it without any heals. Or try to interrupt it. Okay. Like I said, it's not particularly difficult, but yeah, see, he could knock you out into the thing here. It's... you gotta be careful. Let me see here. Also, oh, this is an upgrade. Nice. Wow. It's an upgrade, but it's adds defense, not necessarily power or mastery. And give her this. Because it's a large influence gain. And it saves on some space here. Okay, that's enough of that. Oh, my neck. Let me get this medic. There we go. Ah. Oh, and I was going to change back. Our combat proficiency that I was using was this one, but I'm going to go back to this adjudicator. Because as long as I use rebuke more often, then that'll become effective. I just don't use it very often. I should be, but I haven't been.
The Republic's disinterest in their species led them right into my care. Thank you.
And I remember this so much now. This is tricky, not because they're hard, but there's all these ads that come in, and you kind of had to have a plan going in if you did this as a group. I'll loot real quick first. Here we go. Yeah, I got kind of an early start today, so hopefully I didn't throw everybody off, but we'll see. After I get done with this, we'll see. Maybe we'll explore the Hutt cartel or whatever else we got going for us. There we go. Get this done. And the good news is we can always go back if we like miss one or we have to get more enemies. We can always like backtrack. See, this is a trap because there's one, but there's more, you know? There's always more. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I've got this pillow behind my neck, but it's like almost like jutting into the back of my head. Hold up, I've missed some things here. Put my voting for the next playthrough. It would suggest Operative just because it's considered the best class story in the game. It's not my favorite, but it really is the most well written. Inquisitor would be my second. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, any of that. I do think Operative probably is the best written, but for me, I prefer the Inquisitor just personally. That's what I like to do. That's been my main, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Here comes our first mini boss. Gonna knock me back. Oh man, there's all these guys. I didn't realize there was two of them. Okay, that was quick. Okay. All right, there we go. But welcome on in, Darth. Like I said, I got an early start, so we'll see. And I have to disable the weapons consoles. Again, I don't have to do these, but why not, right? We're here. Again, it's these ads that I gotta deal with. So Yep, that's what I was afraid of. I knew he was going to do something like that. They added these barriers here, I think, when the game first came out. I don't think these barriers were here. Like, he would just knock you off, and that was it, you know? Oh.
Take it slow for a while.
Come here. Yeah, this guy's annoying. He's a knockbacker. Yeah, he got rid of my droid, which is fine. Come on. Stop it. So I'm trying to knock back. Yep. There it is.
Just heard from the Supreme Commander. The Republic fleet is on its way.
Now, to reacquire our tank droid, how do we do that? Forget. It's right there. Now don't get knocked off no more. See, you can get knocked off, but the other side of this is that you can, especially if you're like an Inquisitor or bounty hunter, you can knock people off too. So.
Wings. Such greatness is only attained by the marriage of animal engineering and the Foundry. A few upgrades and the Foundry droids can process Adegan crystals and construct stealth squadrons in record time. Darth Malgus united our technologies, as he will unite the galaxy.
So there's all these like little lore tidbits that they add in the middle of doing the story. It's pretty good. I mean, like I said, this one's much more interesting than the Battle of Ilum, I think. It's just... Oh. Nadia handled these guys, so... Tyrant. My absolute favorite class story surprises some people. It's the Jedi Knight, but dark side. I love starting as a nice, innocent Jedi and slowly building delusion and corrupted until I'm power-hungry tyrant. Yeah. I mean, that's a big thing about this game, is that it lets you have options. I mean, you're not really going to be, you know, centrally focused. And on both the fleet and the... On both fleets, the Imperial or the Republic fleet, there are dark side vendors or light side vendors. So if you were the light side Sith warrior, I mean, I could say that is possible from a lore standpoint because of what you find out in the story, you know. So you could become disillusioned by the Emperor and say, you know what, maybe there's a better way to see all these things. Kind of like, I don't know, Krea's not a good example, but just basically saying, instead of following the will of the Force or the powers that be, you know, making your own decisions, being your own empowered individual.
It's okay.
Okay, so are there weapons caches in here? Hold up. Don't see any. So I don't think I missed any, but we'll find out. You know, I also have to, for the bonus, I have to do 6 weapons consoles. I just don't know where those are at. Or I don't remember, I should say. Come on. Jeez. Took forever for that animation to happen. Okay, don't like that guy. Stop it. Okay. Okay. It's a little bit of lag there. There we go. Okay. All right. Get our loot. I mean, the Jedi Knight does have all the ingredients to fall to the dark side too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's as an Inquisitor for my main, I love digging deep into that dark side and really soaking that in. But my main character that I've had all these years, oh, is this the this one was stupid hard when this game came out, because, and it probably won't be that bad for just the story mode, but when you're doing this with a party, you have to have one person designate to shoot a gun and another person who fights, I think it's just the ads and also the champion up here. And then also when he gets into his ship or whatever, if you don't do that, I mean, you can take out the ship, but you have to have a crap load of DPS to do it. So we didn't have all that when this came out. So
Can't shake these fighters. Afraid you're on your own. Maybe you can use the station's defenses against them.
Emperor Malgus says hello.
so this isn't just a tank and spank. This is one of those requires see, like this thing, you have to do this where it shoots the ship, and I think that takes down his shield or something. Come on, get off me. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to do this. Get off of me. I'm trying to shoot your thing. Or maybe I have to do... Oh, jeez. Get off. When you're Inquisitor and Sage, you have speed boost. So... Okay, so that's not working. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just that he has his... I think... Okay. His health is going down, but I think what it is that when he shoots his missiles at us from the ship, yeah, right here, I think what's supposed to happen is it also removes his shields too. Get off of me. Okay. All right. Yeah. See, like this, you have to like guide him into it. So you don't want to get hit by it, but you also just want to kind of like get him in there. See how he's absorbing everything? Yeah.
Take it slow for a while.
Yeah. But the tank is heavily involved in this. And of course I've just got a little robot tank that does his own thing, so it's not the most effective. He's... And I think in hard mode, these cannons stop working after a while, so you're kind of just, you're left to have to do it via DPS only.
Shadow
So
Gray was among the first to join me. He will become a martyr, and others will flock to continue
that was super
his
easy,
fight.
but in a real Flashpoint, this is tricky. Not as tricky as they could get, and especially like in things like operations, but yeah, you have to kind of like one person does this, and usually because me and my wife were Inquisitors, we just went back and forth. She was the main healer though, and so she would heal, and I would just run back and forth and do these things while the tank and somebody else did the champion or the boss. So, but like I said, this is a really entertaining Flashpoint. I do enjoy it. It reminds me a lot of like the Black Talon. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of story. There's a lot of stuff to get into. So, yeah, hey, this one back in the day, back in 2012, when I started playing the game, this fight was stupid hard. I know. That's what I was saying is, and then you didn't have the gear. You know, we were max level 60. I'm 66 right now. So we were max level 60 trying to grind our gear just to get to Malgus. And this was just hard. I mean, even if you were doing in-game stuff and they opened, because this wasn't available right at the beginning. You know, it was something they opened up later. When the game first came out, it didn't have this portion. They added it kind of like almost like as a story content that they added, but it really should have probably been released at the time. But I think what they wanted is they just wanted to add, you know, some content to say, hey, look, continue the fight, even though you've probably finished your class quest by now, you know, because none of this is class specific. You don't have to be a certain class to do this stuff.
You may have noticed our recent improvements. Upgraded turbo blazers replaced last generation turrets. Specialized flux cannons can disintegrate capital ships with a single blast. But most importantly, we installed state-of-the-art stealth technology. This station is completely invisible. From the skies, our empire will unite the galaxy, and Darth Malgus will be our emperor.
So when we get to Malgus, I'll show you the fight, and one of the most epic gaming moments for me is in this area, and it's at the Malgus fight. So I have to kind of show you what happens for me to describe it, because otherwise if I describe it, it'll spoil the fight. Yeah, imagine in MMs it's just the hard evenness. Yeah, it was just a grind. It was just a big grind back then. Even if you were leveled and you were skilled, you also just had to contend with not having the gear. You know, sometimes everybody had been playing their class stuff that you realized that you didn't have the gear if you weren't doing flashpoints. And even if you were doing flashpoints, it was kind of like, yeah, but did you get a drop that you could use, you know? Because in a large operation, you know, not everybody got the good thing about operations back when this game came out is that usually there was several bosses. It wasn't just like one or two, and when the loot dropped, it was enough to kind of like get everybody geared a little bit faster. I wouldn't say it was especially fast, but an operation would have like 5 bosses with 2-3 good drops in them, you know? And for an operation of the size that you needed for this game, it wasn't like a 40-man raid, you know, like in WoW when that came out. this medic. Okay. Nice. All right. Let's see, I need 3 more panels, but I don't see them. There's none there. So there's one over here. And I think there's one more level after this, and then you go into like another level where it's like Inquisitors and stuff.
Good to see you, boys.
They're more like Force users, so we'll see. Yeah, and there wasn't an RNG back then. It was like options that were like round robin or something. Kind of. There was RNG to a certain effect, but you could mitigate it because unlike like KOTOR is definitely like, it's almost like the real time with pause, like the original Baldur's Gate. But like if I was fighting this droid but I got behind him, I would be able to score critical because I was behind him. It was positioning, so there was an RNG, but it was an RNG mitigator too. But now with the way they have it, it's more like a tank and spank almost everything that you see, just because the levels become so nerfed compared to where you are at a level and the rating system of your gear. See, like my rating right now is 194. I think 300 is the max, and I could be way off on that. I think 300 is the max for like at level 80. It could be wrong, could be like 380 or something like that, but we'll find out. But they do this item rating now, which is very different, whereas before it was strictly based on your stats and those multipliers that came with it. So yeah. Oh, you could designate who got what at times. Yes, yeah. Oh, you talking about, oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about the operations. I totally misunderstood. I thought you were talking about the combat. You're right. It would be RNG in that what would drop, but it was like a high percentage for what boss you were facing. And you could do like master looter. So that, you know, WoW does that from the beginning. They've done that, where you have one person designated and he would distribute it to whoever. Those were good for operations, but for like things like this, it would be random, but later on, I think it's during the Shadow of Revan, could be the Hutt Cartel, you could like flag your party to only drop items for yourself. In other words, like it would drop whatever, but if it wasn't useful for your character, like a heavy armor or whatever, then you couldn't loot it. You wouldn't even see it. But the bounty hunter would see it, for instance. So it made it to where, because a lot of times, you know, back then the companion, like Nadia, hers is based on your influence with her, so she can wear whatever and it's not going to make any difference in her performance. But back in the day it did. So you could have like the highest level armor from the highest level operation in this game, and if you were with a high level guild that was just farming those things, you could start giving them to your companions, and they would be overpowered too while you were doing your dailies or something, you know. It's not like that anymore, so that part's got removed completely. Yeah, I totally misunderstood you. I thought you were talking about combat. I was like, no, there was always RNG in combat. But yeah, the loot system was definitely some RNG, but there was always a high percentage for some things to drop.
The brain of this space station and my domain. If you are not a member of the Schism Collective, turn back. This place is not for you.
It's not for you. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is our last level of robots, and then we start facing Force users. So, yeah, 343 purple ricotta gear is the highest. Oh, okay. So see how like they give a little bit of buffer though, that 343. So you know there's probably going to go up to 350, right? I mean they got to. 343 is such a weird number. So these guys, back in the day, I always talk about like back in the day, were not hard, but you definitely had to have a tactic going into them. So one of them, if I remember right, was more of like a melee, and the other one was more of like an electrical, almost like he wasn't ranged, but you needed to separate them. And so one person would basically kite them around, and the other one could just be a tank and spank, and then you dealt with the other one. But I don't know which one's which. You know, this is B16, this is A14. Couldn't tell you. Don't know. But like I said, it's a good idea to look at these stories and see how they do it. So that way, if you ever do this with a flashpoint, you kind of have an idea of what to do. I don't remember. Yeah, see, like you don't want to be in this. You wanted to get the other one out of there. See how he's like mitigating damage or whatever. There we go. Like I said, Malgus is the first time you start facing things that are like, what the hell? And that's why you wanted to like kite this guy out. I can't even steal the aggro. Come over here. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. But at least there's this story mode because it's very forgiving. I can tell you right now, I remember some of the nightmares we had with this. And I definitely would love to do this with some other people to kind of like share the pain. But you know, I just like the story too, so we're good. There we go. Nice. All right. But yeah, I think like you would have an off tank. Like if you did this with 2 bounty hunters and 2 inquisitors, cake. Easy. Because you could have one bounty hunter taking one while the inquisitor could heal. The other inquisitor could like off heal but also do the DPS. And then the other one would just be, you know, over here like distracting him. And because he's still, then he can come back over here, you know. So it just depends on your party, you know. It's just me, the stupid droid, and Nadia. So let's see, the highest is 344 actually because of the implants only go up to 340 max. The balance is 343. It's weird. So also they have this new system and it's very hard to explain. The easiest way I can sometimes explain to some people is that if you've ever played any gacha games, it's a weird comparison, but it's so convoluted, the tier systems for it. Like they make it intentionally difficult, and it's like, oh, but you could also just pay $5 or $10 or whatever and you'd unlock that, and it's that simple. You can unlock it naturally by just playing the games and gacha games. I've never paid a dime for any gacha game ever in my life, and I've had tons and tons of hours in story content that I've played in them. I haven't really gotten into Genshin Impact, but I played Honkai Star Rail, and I really love that game. It's tons of story in it. But if you're going into like a story-based RPG like Honkai Star Rail, that's a gacha game, and you're the kind of person that says, I want to do all the side missions, get that out of your mind. You know, if you do one side mission, just focus on that, because you will be easily distracted. There's so much story content. But again, if you want like to get this level, or if you want to do that, then there's an easy way to get there by paying for it. But this game is very similar. When you get to like level 80, the max, you have to turn your tech fragments into other things. There's also other like galactic coins, or I forget what they're called, that you can redeem for an item, and in that item you can break it down, which will upgrade your item to a higher tier item. And that's kind of how you get your critical ratings up. But you have to, it's not as difficult as like a gacha game, but at the same time couldn't they just make it simpler? You know, just like I see an item, and if I can purchase it, let me just purchase it directly. But you have to buy the lower tier one just to upgrade to the higher tier, and then you have to have so many of those or fragments plus the purple type fragments, the artifact, to turn it into the next level thing. So it's really, if you're doing operations a lot, it's probably simpler to understand because you'd have the commodities to turn in.
Collective's experiments were repulsive and turned them away. How fatally short-sighted.
And here's where, like, if you were an Inquisitor, you could just smash and, like, half these guys would go over the rail. But I have to fight them individually. But how's everybody's weekend going today? Anybody have any special plans for the weekend? My daughter is out of town, so it's just me, my wife, and my mom. And so we're just hanging out. For whatever reason, my daughter is the nicest person you will ever meet in the world. But for whatever reason, the dogs, not Ripley. Ripley's a good girl. She loves everybody. But the two boys, Link and Fox, just go nuts when she's around. Like they just bark and bark like she's the enemy. She's never been anything but nice to them. She feeds them more than anybody else in the house. She tries to take care of them. She gives them the bath when they need it. She's, perfect. And they just feel like she's the enemy for whatever reason. And so I'm glad she's getting some time away, but the dogs won't be so barky while she's gone, is my point. It's a stupid point, but it's true.
These stealth fighters are giving the fleet trouble. I've blasted my share, but they keep coming.
Okay, we got way too many things we're doing here. Nadia's on one guy, this guy's on another guy. Yeah, see, so if you're doing this with a party, this is real tricky too, because yes, you can see somebody, but you notice how like these enemies just come in, and it's real hard to it's like herding cats. It's like who do you have? And you can label these guys in a party. So if I wanted to, I could label him, like not in a story-based mode, but you can put like little symbols over them and say, okay, I need you to CC this one, and then we're going to tank this one, whatever. And then you can systematically, isolate them down. Okay. Yeah, the command consoles, I do think that's where we're the force users. But yeah. That's why people run SM operations every day for tech frags. Yeah. But there's only so much tech frags you can get. Like right now on just my accounts, I have almost 4,500 out of 11,000. And obviously I'm not using them, so I'm just accruing them, But you get them much faster too once you get to max level and just start doing like dailies and this and that. They just drop off of enemies. So do operations almost daily. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. The one that I still dislike the most of all the operations I've done of any MMO was the one, I forget the name of it, but it's the it's before the HUD cartel. It's the one where you go to the Ricotta area and one team is on one side and the other team's on the other side, and you have to figure out the puzzle. It's just a bunch of symbols, and then when you figure that out, the other team is actually fighting ads, and there's ads fighting you at the same time, but just not as bad. And then you have to relay when you're done with that. I don't like any game that requires me to have TeamSpeak or internet relay chat or just something to communicate to the other team that's on the other side of the wall. A third-party service. I get that everybody does that for operations in Warcraft, in this game, Warhammer, every game does that, but I don't like how they require that to happen. And it's like, if you're not going to provide me with that in-game service, then don't make it a mechanic in the game. And so I've never loved that particular one. The rest of the operation I'm okay with. I like that one, but we had to have an app specific for that one operation. I just forget the name of it, but it would tell us based on the symbol what the code would be, because it was just, it was too hectic. Here we go. What's in here? What's in the door? What's in the door?
You didn't heed my warning, Master Jedi. My holo message strictly stated that the power core is the domain of the Schism Collective. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. That's the sound of my flux cannons incinerating one of your capital ships. Shall I do it again?
Schism's collective technology could benefit millions. Yet you settle for Malgus's twisted perversion.
Malgus allows our work to flourish. Let me show you again. This battle station is the galaxy's greatest technological marvel, and it's all made possible by Anomid genius, by the Schism Collective.
Interjection. Silence, meatbag.
Your upgrades.
Statement. I'm HK-47, commander of the Foundry and personal exterminator to Emperor Malgus. My master activated me ahead of schedule to eliminate the Republic Organic.
This is a great callback. Unfortunately, the Foundry is another flashpoint that we haven't really done, so we're kind of almost getting this somewhat out of order. But that's okay.
Let's not let this fall to violence.
Advisory. My master calls for your head. I will give it to him, along with other sundry parts. Stand clear, scientist. Assassination protocols engaged.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate that we have to do this to HK.
Prepare to die.
Take it slow for a while.
And he was rough. I mean, he's just a solo, but man, he does so much damage. If you were like a squishy, like a cloth, doing this was murder. You did not want to be in the middle of... You had to if he was like aiming at you, we would like put shield on you, put a buffer, like everything, because he hits hard. There we go. So hopefully he targets me, because if he does Nadia, she can't like run around like I can. Man.
Advisory. Prepare to die. Your organic flailings amuse me.
Yeah, this is a DPS check because you wanted to get his, obviously his HP all the way down, because there's only so much of this you can sustain.
Advisory. Prepare to die. Disclosure. Master woke up
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
Take it slow for a while.
Okay, we're getting there.
Prepare to die.
And I think on not story mode, there's like 2 or 3 missiles that can get you, so you can't just like walk away from one. And obviously you don't want to be near your party because it'll just kill everybody.
Perfected by assassination.
Come on.
Warning! Severe damage sustained. Systems failing.
All right, so we did it. And we got a better item. Let's see here. Implant. No, a earpiece. Okay. I didn't even realize we got a better... Well... This one, the mastery is better. So we'll do that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it just kind of always sticks out a little bit. It's like, why would we face HK here? I get it because of what's going on in the story with the Foundry and Malgus taking over and getting some of the Eternal Empire things. It makes sense that we run into HK. And if you know the story of Revan and the Shadow of Revan and what even is supposedly happening in KOTOR 2, it's loosely tied to this lore. But HK's involvement makes sense, and I get why we see him here, but because we didn't get to do the Foundry, some of this is missing, you know? That one is so dumbed down now that you really don't need the app or anything anymore. Really? Okay. Just presses left over and over until they land on the symbol. Okay. Even in vet mode, you don't need voice. Okay. You hardly need the app anymore. Although people still use it on vet mode, but I do remember when you needed TeamSpeak back in the day. I know. You know what? It's funny. People are talking about going back to TeamSpeak. You know why? Because of all the Discord stuff that's been going on, with Discord requiring age verification and face recognition and a bunch of other things. Now people are talking about actually coming back to TeamSpeak, and I haven't done any research when it comes to that, but that would be interesting. You know, less social media and more focused on just in-game play and having that communication. I think that could be interesting. Because, I mean, how many things go nutty over Discord? Some channels Discord. Mine is squeaky clean. I have a very, very helpful and nice person who's over my Discord. She doesn't show up very often. She's sometimes in my YouTube chat, especially if I'm doing Baldur's Gate. But she took it upon herself to kind of put all the security stuff on there, and it's runs like a dream. But yeah, I mean, how many like goofy things happen in the social media Discord stuff that don't need to happen when all you're just trying to do is play a game, you know? You don't need all that extra stuff, that drama. So if it went just to pure TeamSpeak, you can imagine that could be interesting. There's a technician here. I didn't see him. take care of these. Damn. Okay, Naughty went to go handle the elite, and we're over here handling these strongs. Got it off on. I always did like the Gree operations. I just didn't understand them.
All right.
Make sure there's nothing else over here. Don't think so. Yeah. But I really enjoyed the Dreadlord, the Dread on Oriacon. Is it Oriacon? I can't remember. But the Dreadlords, all those operations, those were fabulous. They were great mood, good rewards, just fantastic.
Blast you! Mark! My beautiful machines ruined because of you!
Yes.
Emperor Malgus will be furious. He'll disown the Schism Collective or worse. Unless you put in a word for us. Like the Republic?
I don't mess with Discord too much anymore. Yeah, I really like TeamSpeak. It was just a basic voice for gamers, and you're not wrong. But like I said, who knows? Maybe we'll be going back to something like that, because now, you know, a lot of times you don't really need to go into TeamSpeak so much. You just share a channel in Discord and with whoever you're doing it with, and it's that simple. But yeah, if you're focused more on the game of what's going on, and you only go in, because you obviously only went into TeamSpeak when you were actually playing the game. You weren't there, you know, to just air out social stuff, you know. It'd be kind of interesting to kind of go back to something like that.
Disable the station's shields, and I'll mention your cooperation to the Supreme Commander.
Of course. It will take some clever slicing, but that's my specialty. Schism Collective, this is Arcus Ward. Evacuate the space station and surrender to the Republic. Our time here is up. And to commemorate our newfound friendship, I'll program our flux cannons to fire on the stealth armada. Just a few more minutes.
That seems kind of dark side-ish, though, you know. He's like, yeah, if you could just fire on the Empire for us while we're doing this. So override the command consoles. I think that's in this. I think this is the final area.
The station's cannons are firing on the stealth armada. Whatever you did, it's working.
Here we go. Yeah. I think those things over here, yeah. There are these consoles here. Good job, Naughty. You actually CC'd the right one this time. Like I said, this to me was a lot more fun than the Battle of Ilum. That's why I probably don't remember the Battle of Ilum so much. We probably didn't run it that much, because once you do this one time, you can unlock it. So, you can do it whenever. Let's see here. Could be another group here. Huh. Maybe that's only in like hard mode or something. Nah. Okay. Yeah, and I think I'm at a rating 285, maybe 295 or something like that on my main. And I'm still struggle busing some of the newer content. Just the story content. And I would say, okay, let me dial that back. Not the story content, but some of the areas you go to, like on Manon, where you go like those heroics, they're so difficult for me. No matter what I do. I mean, I can do them, but it takes me a while to do them, and the respawn rate is pretty high, so it's not the easiest. All right, let's do it. Okay. All right. Okay. Not too difficult. The droid shot him as he was already dead. He double tapped him. It's core, yeah. Don't mess. Discord's social media centralized and too commercialized for me. But I think my favorite voice programs was probably Ventrilo. See, I never did Ventrilo. It was always an option back in the day whether or not you could do TeamSpeak or that one. I was never in any guilds that used it, so we never really bothered with it. So I have zero experience with that, but it was an option back then. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we do it all over again. I think this is only just 2 layers of this, though. There we go. So glad there's not all these extra ads now. It's much cleaner. Like I said, I definitely prefer this one over the Battle of Ilum. There may be more enemies and probably a lot more potential for, you know, loot or money, but this is more interesting. And the nice thing is, if you didn't want to deal with the bonuses or anything like that, you could just like skip half of this. You could just say, I don't want to do that. I want to just go this way, go that way. I think we still had to kill this guy though to get that door to open. I could be, no, maybe not. I think you could just jump down here and then go straight to the door if you wanted to. But we got to get this console here. Oh, come on, Nadia. Stop CCing the guy we're attacking. That's on me, though. I should be telling her what to do before we go into battle, but... You know, you would think the AI by this point would figure that out. So let's do this one and see if it tells me. I bet you we got to go in there. I bet you, yeah. This unlocks the final boss that's right in this room over here. Well, all optional boss, I should say. Yeah, so we have to disable the stasis chamber. So we'll do this one real quick. Yeah. I don't remember this. I think I'm trying to remember from the party standpoint. I think one person attacked him or 3 people did that, and then another person had to try to disable the stuff on the sides. Don't remember though. Okay. So this guy's character model is very similar to your ancestor when you play as the Inquisitor. It's an interesting story because you start off as a slave, or you believe your backstory is a slave, but as you are selected to become your Darth's acolyte, she sees it in a vision that you guys will do something or another that has to do with, oh yeah, this is, they're trying to heal him, so we got to get these guys down. But she ends up trying to betray you. She's trying to possess you basically, and your forefather or whatever he is was a Dark Lord of the Sith and like the leader or whatever he was at the time, and his lineage was lost to time, and you are a descendant of him. So it's pretty interesting. What is going on? What's Nadia doing? Okay. Okay. Anyway, So he tries to warn you. He seems like he's getting healed. Where is the? Is there another guy here? Like I'm not seeing. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll sell it, you guys. Okay. But anyway, this particular character has the same character model as your ancestor, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, I think this is definitely a DPS check. It's one of those optional bosses, like if you don't get them down in time or something, I think like this boss comes back all, like healed up or something like that. I think that's how this works. Oh my god. But I like him. He's definitely an Inquisitor with some tankish skills. Very neat. No, I don't want to do this again. 3 waves. Hopefully that's all we have to deal with, you know? This was tricky if you're doing this with a party, because if you got 2 squishies with you, you better hope your tank is able to aggro everybody, you know? Accidentally used my interrupt. Come on now. Come on now. Oh. We're almost there. We're almost there. We come on, die. Finally. Jeez. Lord Kalig was the ancestor, and he was betrayed by Tulek Horde, right? The owner of Kimval. The previous master of Kimval, who is my favorite, easily favorite companion of the entire game. I love Kimval. He's with me, ride or die. Yeah, Sith entity. I'm just saying is that he has the same character model as that ancestor. Let's see what we got. Just that. This is interesting. The vibro knife. We could give this to. Let's save that for our hiccups. You never know. I might be able to use this on one of our companions on a different character. And maybe even if we did operative. This probably not though, huh? Alright, so again, this used to give us some great rewards, but now everything's more or less just like rating developed. It's not as cool. Okay, so we came from there. Alright. Let's see here. So we're almost there, guys. We need to start thinking, what are we going to do after this? Probably check out the Hutt Cartel. I don't remember if like it'll let you go to your ship and do a hologram or whatever. So I'm going to find out with you guys, because I don't remember. You know, when I did this, it was all natural. You know, the game would update and we'd have a new DLC, a new patch. But now, like, since we have everything all at one time, I don't know how to present it. Oh, it went down pretty easily. Can we? Got one patrol over here, one patrol over there. Let's go ahead and get this one. Do the other one. We could stealth past them, but we're not gonna. But I am gonna do this. This definitely doesn't seem shorter than the Battle of Ilum, but it's definitely more fun. Forsaken Sith Lord. How is he forsaken? He's right here guarding the entrance to the big bads. Nice. All right. We got anything? Nah, we ain't got nothing. All right. We are... I guess that's it. We'll call it here. No, I'm just kidding. We're right there, y'all. We're right there. Secure the throne room. The Emperor's throne room. Here we are. Time for a little cinematic, and I believe this is it. So I don't know the mechanics anymore, and I do, well, I kind of know, but when this first came out, you had to dispatch Malgus a certain way. It was just in the game, and if you didn't do it that way, it just, oh well. Then it wasn't working for some characters, and so they added the option to have these little grenades, and you had to do them in a certain way to where it created that same effect to dispatch Malgus. Well, sometimes that didn't work either. And so at some point they just said, forget it. You can just get them down to 0. But you could literally get them to 1 hit point forever and never finish him off. Because if you tried, I think, up to 2 times to do it the way the game wanted you to do it, he would get stuck. And there's nothing you could do. You know, you could train him around, you could do this or that. We thought we were just doing something wrong. We could not figure it out. We didn't even know what we were supposed to do. We finally, after the game had been out for like a few days, I don't remember how long it was, you know, word got around, so you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. And it was like, oh, okay, so we'll try it that way. And sure enough, we got it to work. So then we had this, like, you know, way of doing it. So we were still not, you know, fully geared. So we tried to get everybody some gear, and we would just do this. And just sometimes it would get stuck, you know, and sometimes we would do everything right and it just wouldn't work. So like I said, I think they finally fixed it to where you can just get them all the way down to 0. So it's not as much of an impact anymore. But they try to simulate the whole, like, how Palpatine dies in Return of the Jedi, you know, where, like, Darth Vader throws him over the thing. That's what you're supposed to do here. You're supposed to make him go over the railing. And that railing was just has a certain wall there. So if, like, the hitbox of Malgus was just still barely holding on, he would be basically on top of it. And now he was immune to being able to be toppled into the chasm. It's just how it worked. So one of my greatest experiences in gaming happened in this room, and we knew what to do. We knew how to handle this, but we were just struggling with, because I was trying to get other guild members going, and we were all good friends. And it was me, my wife, and 2 other guys, and we had just been doing a bunch of, you know, content together, and we were just not doing well that day. We just could not get Malgus to die, and the bounty hunter, one of the bounty hunters, because it was 2 of them, it was 2 bounty hunters and us 2 inquisitors. You have this you could do grapple to where you pull people to you. He got knocked over by Malgus, and he was like, Malgus was on his lowest HP. He was like down to 5 HP, you know, and he got knocked over. But instead, what he did is he yanked Malgus with him. And it was just the most epic thing. Like, if I could have recorded it, it would have just been superb. And I had the best angle for it too. And you just saw it, and just saw him. When he came back, he didn't get the reward, but he had already, you know, we had already been doing Malgus a little bit, but it was just so epic to see. It was just a truly cinematic experience. And it's one of my favorite moments in this, in gaming, was right here in this scene.
Come, Master Jedi. Witness your fleet's destruction. Even without our flux cannons, my stealth fighters are crippling your pathetic armada. Soon the Republic's failure will be complete, and nothing will stand in the way of the new Empire.
The Empire will kill you for this treason, but the Republic can offer you safety, and a home for your ideals.
You're reaching, Jedi.
Warning. Shields shutting down. Station defenses offline.
Arcus Woad. Well played.
Lay down your weapons, and I'll call off the fleet.
You overestimate your chances of success.
Emergency warning. Safety overrides disengaged. Power core set to self-destruct.
This station will explode, consuming your entire fleet. And from the wreckage of the once mighty Republic, a new Empire will be born.
It doesn't have to end this way, Malgus.
I, and only I, can stop the meltdown at any time. Kill me and your precious fleet is lost. Come, show me the strength of your Republic.
All right, here we go.
For the new Empire.
You're all right.
Yeah, I don't know if it's changed at all, but you used to have to like get him to back you in a corner here, so that way there would always be like one person that would be CC'd, and you just wanted to move him to the other side, so that way if he was doing something in that corner, the person who was CC'd was not taking all the damage.
You certainly made my job easier.
Yeah, we're barely doing any damage to him. Jeez. Yeah, see, there's me being CC'd. So if, let's say, my tank had done a proper tanking job, he would move over to a different area, so that way I would not be taking damage while he was doing like a flurry or whatever, you know? But whatever. Vengeful strikes.
I haven't enjoyed myself this much since the sacking of Coruscant.
He's got so much health. I'm getting some crits in. I'm hurting him. But man, he is... We barely got him down to a quarter. Maybe a third. I may have overspoken.
Feel an emperor's wrath.
Feel an emperor's wrath. So what's he doing over here now?
I'm with you, Master.
Is he actually here or not? I think the game is glitching a little bit where he actually is supposed to be at. So, we'll see. Okay, so we're a little over half now. Yeah, this must just be a tank and spank because they didn't even give me the option to go get some of those grenades. So yeah. Unlimited power. This is the... I don't know if I can interrupt that, but you see these like ledges over here? Yeah. Oh! Okay. Yeah, that happened. Okay. I can't believe that. So I was just trying to demonstrate here, because there used to be like a canister you'd be able to like pick up your, let me summon this guy, your grenades right here. I'm like, well, they didn't let me do that, so it must not be a necessary thing in story mode, you know? But yeah, there's like a little side area here, and you're supposed to kind of like guide him this way. And then, like, you know, if you're like a sage or a had the grenade, or if you're a inquisitor, he would do slam, and then that would push him over, and that's how he died. But again, there's I could be wrong, and maybe I'm not remembering this correctly, but I thought this had like a rail right here. So you had to get him right up against the rail and then do that. And that's what made it tricky, that he would get stuck on the rail sometimes. But I was just, I can't believe he did that while I was on the edge there. That's
for the new empire.
Here, let's do it again. Jeez. I can't believe that just happened. No way. Womp, womp, womp. A fitting into the class quest of a Jedi.
Thank you again for dealing with Darth Aho. You certainly made my job easier.
Darth A-hole? Yeah. Nobody liked him. It's so funny.
Enough games.
Yes. Enough games. Oh, I can interrupt some of those, so okay. I didn't think I could interrupt his attacks, so that's good to know. Okay, Nadia, you're not really healing me, so I need your help here.
Feel an emperor's wrath.
Worm, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We're doing the Malgus fight. Kind of comedic at the moment. But like a typical Jedi trying to do some instructions, I died while trying to demonstrate what not to do. Okay, I was able to interrupt that. Okay, I didn't think I could. Oh, where'd Nadia go? Okay. See, this is why you need to be like on these edges here, because he will like slam you the other direction. And that's what made this fight so tricky, because you could just be in the wrong place just temporarily for 1 second, as I previously demonstrated, and just be obliterated. And I'm in story mode. That's just what makes it so funny, is that I died in story mode just because I was just trying to show where not to stand. So funny.
I should have killed you.
But that also shows why it's really tricky to kind of like push him over the edge, because you're trying to do the right thing, but he can also, you know, do that to you. So, and that was like, in that instance, is how like my bounty hunter friend said, "Nah, you're coming with me," and that's how that ended. Malgus fight is pain. By the way, quick question: what's a good way to make some credits nowadays? Actually, it's not too difficult to do, like just heroics, if you, depending on your level, of course, but heroics will gain you a lot of credits real quick. Okay, so is he doing the thing? Okay, why is my stuff unlocked?
As will your Republic fleet.
Why is nothing working? Is it actually the thing where I have to take him to the side and do the thing? My interrupt is gone now too. I know they did this to where you can just get them down to 0, but now my interrupt is gone. I don't know what happened to that button. Oh, there it is. But see, I don't have those grenades, and I don't have a single attack that'll allow me to... Oh, you know what? I do have... I have this. Bam! But that doesn't
Darth Malgus is
move
dead.
him.
I won't let you miss the celebration. Get to the hangars. I'll see you there.
Secondary systems failure. Core power levels critical.
Somehow I unlocked my hotbar. But it was trying to save 60 minutes. I've been gone from the game for years. There's a weapon I want for a new alt.
Estimated blast radius 1.92 kilometers.
Like, just doing heroics is probably just the easiest and fastest way to do that. In my opinion, just if you're not trying to do like operations and flashpoints and whatever. Because I've gotten quite a few. I think we just exit area. I think I've gotten quite a bit of credits on some of my like mains and stuff, just doing the story content, and then when I'm done with that, I just go back and do, you know, Tatooine, Dantooine, wherever I'm at, and just do those heroics. You make a lot of money really quick, real quick. Probably not as... Now, if you're talking about like cartel coins, that may be a little different. But if you're talking about like getting an item like in the auction house, yeah, things are expensive there. Everything's overinflated, but they always have been, you know. So I need to get 3K CC credit or 60-ish mil. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be tricky. I mean, outside of I don't know all the ins and outs of like how players might do it, but if you were to like get a one of those cartel boxes, and then like if you get something like unique, you can just sell those. So even though you may have spent like 200 on a box, you might be able to get that back, you know, and plus some. But that's just rolling the dice, you know. I wouldn't do that. But I don't know. I mean, for me, just like I said, just like I have on this character, just doing the story and getting these inventory slots open and unlocking some legacy things, I'm still at almost 1 million. And that's just casually playing. But I imagine if I were to go back and do like a bunch of heroics and stuff, or you know, if I get to the Shadow Revenant and go backwards, I bet you, I mean, you could be making a lot of money just doing that. But again, that's my best guess. Let's see. But yeah, I've been playing mainly these story class quests for stream purposes, you know. Yep, the item is the Titan's lightsaber pike. Oh, cool. I know which one you're talking about too. Is that on the cartel market? Let me look here. Cartel market. Let me look. Titan light. No, I don't see it. Maybe just Titan. I know Titan. Maybe it's Tython. Titan Highlander. I have never seen this. This is weird. I've never seen this though. I don't know if I like it. Highlander. It's a bit odd. Yeah, search Pike. Oh, okay, let me search Pike. Let's do Pike. There's Senya's lightsaber Pike. Oh, Tythian. Okay, I see it now. Ooh, very cool. Oh, that's awesome. Because of that spark that it does at the end, that's very neat. Can you change the yeah, you can change the color crystal though. So what if, oh, they're all 3,000. But what about this one? What does this one look like? Ooh, that looks good. That looks good. This one's cheaper. It's 1,300. Ooh, emote spike. This is like when you're playing HUD ball. Yeah. HUD ball's a PvP thing, but there's no like killing. You just like, you know, basically incapacitate everybody. But you kind of like trying to get this ball into like, you know, like soccer, football, whatever. You're trying to get it, you know, across, and you throw it to your friends and they move the ball over and whatever. Yeah, it's the cheap one's electro staff. Yeah, that's a staff. No, you did fine. Yeah, you were right. I should just put in a spike. But this one's really cool. I like this one. Yeah, that's really neat. But you know, in the image, in the little like thing there, it looks like it's all red. Like the whole thing glows red. But I do like this Senya's one though. You know? It's real simple. I really like simple. So I'm kind of prone to that look, the aesthetic of the simplicity of it. That's pretty cool though. Yep, that's 120 million. Okay. But I will say this, if you wait long enough, almost everything goes on sale. So like this one is really cool. Like this one's the Shadow Sentry lightsaber. Has a little ring at the bottom, you know? If you like that kind of stuff. I mean, it's kind of neat. It's kind of unique, you know? Plus your, in case you can't see it, it's kind of hard to see on the, if you have it like watch it on a phone or something, you'll notice how like this lightsaber is thickish in the blade and this one's thin. That's how some of them are. So they're kind of unique in how they actually project the saber. I like this Shadow Sentry top, but I cannot stand the bow at the back. You'll see. See, like I do like this, but look at this at the back. There's this bow. I don't like that at all. I hate that. The whole thing looks good. The rope, the high boots, it's very aesthetic. But that bow at the back is just, they lost me on that. So, what server are you on? I'm on North America. I'm on... I guess I could just look in the... there's... let me just log out real quick. I'm not on Bastila Shan. I'm on Starforge. I think I think I'm on Starforge. Yeah, I'm on Starforge. I have 15 players on Starforge and 3 on Bastila Shan. And when there was like, 50 servers on US, I was on Starforge. I've never had to transfer anybody. I made 3 other characters on Bastila Shan, but I've always been on Starforge, and it's the last one. That one in Satil is the last one standing in North America. But I've never... It's so funny to me because it's like, yeah, I had to transfer my character, had to do this. I'm like, never had to. None of my characters had to do that. Yep. I'm on Starforge. Yep, you are. Yeah. So we're going to go turn in this stuff, finish it up, and see what we can't find out by the Hutt Cartel. Hello there. How you doing? Is what they were talking about. Tithing. Oh, sorry, Darth Kunis. Use the Tithing lightsaber on my assassin along with the incinerator weapon, tuning and fire orange color crystal because the Tithing looks like a torch. Wow. I mean, I could see that. That's why I said when I saw that, I was like, it already had that instant glowy effect. That looked really neat. How you doing, Wesley? Welcome on in. We're going to be turning in this quest and then see where it takes me because I want to see if Lucky. How you doing, Perry? You just came in time for us to finish up this act, I guess, the story act, Act 1, and then we'll see how we can't get to the Hutt Cartel. I'm probably going to start the Hutt Cartel in deep later on, but we need to figure out what class we're going to be playing next. Nice, thanks. What side are you on? Side? I'm well, this one's a Jedi. It's the consular class, but we're playing as a Sentinel. And let me see here. See, we're playing as a Sentinel, and so we're light side at the moment. We're not fully. We're not at level 5, but we're 4+. But I'm probably gonna do Imperial next. But we do. I have a poll on the YouTube side. We have, of course, Bounty Hunter, Inquisitor, a Sith Warrior, or Operative. And Operative I've done a lot. Inquisitor I've done a ton, but I've never streamed them. So, but the stories are great. They're amazing. Republic. Yeah, we're on Republic at the moment.
Then she picked up Malgus's lightsaber and melted the statue's base, sending it crashing down onto Malgus.
Incredible. Master Jedi, Cole was just regaling us with the story of how you defeated Darth Malgus.
You're on Starforge, and before the merger, you were on Ebonhawk originally? Yeah. I chose Starforge mainly because of the population at the time. I mean, like I said, this was when the game first came out. And it was a combination of population, and I chose West Coast. I think Starforge was originally West Coast because it allowed me, I'm on Central Time, to be at a time where people on West Coast it wasn't too late for them, So if you chose East Coast and let's say you fired up a game like at 11 o'clock, it was probably getting too late for them. So I always like to use the West Coast. And I'm pretty sure Starforge, that's where it was started from. So yeah. Yeah, that was on Ebonhawk. Oh, yeah. So it makes sense that if you had like a KOTOR background, you would choose the Ebonhawk. Ebonhawk's so cool. I would love to have a model of the Ebonhawk because, I have a Bastila from Dark Horse figures, and I have... That's pretty much it. I don't have anybody from the KOTOR stuff. I have Bastila, and that's about it. But man, if they were to ever do an Ebonhawk figure, I'd probably be like, shut up and take my money. Same. Yeah, my main is imp side. Mine too. My main is a Inquisitor. And my Inquisitor is generally, it's very much of that Palpatine deceiver. So it looks nice. She doesn't have the dark side, aesthetic. She looks nice. She wears really nice clothes, and she has a white lightsaber. Back before they did the whole bleeding thing, and like Ahsoka and all that stuff. But it's just so that you can kind of fool you who she really is. But yeah, mine use a dual saber. Yeah, I really wish that Inquisitors could use dual like that. But you can, but you'd have to be like an assassin to get that skill.
I appreciate the adulation, but Cole wasn't even there to see our fight.
I suppose I was inflating the facts just a little.
Don't worry, Cole. Enough myths will spread of
Yours
this
was a
victory
healer
without
parry?
your help.
Yeah.
Now come, we have much to celebrate. The false emperor is dethroned. Darth Malgus is no more.
And I won't bore you with a bunch of stories about me, but when I was moving to the area where we're at now for the job where I'm at now, the way me and my wife would just communicate instead of just being on the phone, we'd fire up Star Wars. And so she'd get on her character and I'd get on my character, and we would just type to each other while we were playing, or we'd just get on our, headsets and just talk over TeamSpeak or something. So it's we have kind of an unusual history. But I think, let's see, we're in 2026. This will be our 30th wedding anniversary in June. So there's that.
I am quite honored.
It is I, and this council, who is honored. As always, the Republic must carry on. Our fleet requires repairs, and we must salvage what we can from the Emperor's destroyed station.
But first, the savior of the Republic deserves our praise.
Indeed. Enjoy this victory, and the peace that follows.
Your main's Darth Kuna, which is your profile pick. Oh, okay. He was the very first tune you ever made. He's a Sork healer. Awesome. Yeah, my wife was a sorcerer healer, but mine is a sorcerer madness tree. Love the madness tree. Not very many people do it, but yeah. So here we are. Contact Supreme Chancellor aboard your ship's hologram. So we get to finally go back to our ship. Nice. Finally. But yeah, I got a little poll on my YouTube, or you can just tell me, of course, here in the chat, if there's a particular class you'd like to see next. Like I said, we're kind of leaning toward Bounty Hunter, but I'm not, fixated on a particular one. I think Darth Kunis mentioned Operative, which I am not opposed to.
Please stand by for a priority communication from Supreme Chancellor Leontine Suresh of the Galactic Republic.
I'm honored to speak with you again, Master Jedi. Your victory over the Sith infiltrators saved the Republic, but we face new threats to our security.
I saw that big old hut walking across the thing, so that must be a prelude to the Hut cartel.
Eliminating one foe often exposes the presence of others, Chancellor. Lasting peace of mind is difficult to obtain.
Be that as it may, lasting peace and security are my goals. We must remain vigilant and primed to strike. The Hutt cartel has invaded Republic space and seized the planet Makeb. We will respond to this unprovoked act of aggression in full force. My war council will be convening on Keylander Station in the McKeb system. I ask that you join us immediately.
I'll set a course for the McKeb system right now.
No, not yet. Let's save it for the next stream. What's wrong with you?
Proceed to the conference chamber on Keylander Station. I'll meet you there. Please hurry. We must act quickly and decisively against the Hutt's aggression.
I had only also said the bounty hunter is kind of where I was leaning into, is just because it's the one class on the Imperial side I've done far less. I only have one character I've gotten all the way to like 78, and another character I did around 50 or 60 or so. But I don't remember much. I do love the companions, Blizz and Mako, that you get with the bounty hunter, but I don't remember the story. And so if you guys wanted to see me like learn the story with you guys, that I would suggest that one. But again, it doesn't matter to me whichever one we do.
Stand by
I
for
like them
examination
all.
and suggested product.
I can't believe I died. I don't know. Did you get to see that, Perry? I died on the Malgus fight because I was trying to show in the middle of the fight, like where you would need to stand to get him to go over the railing. And as I got there, he did his explosion and I fell off the edge. I think I clipped it. I don't know if it worked or not. I did it on my Steam Deck, but it was like, I was just trying to like say, this is where you got to stand. And I'm like, oh. It was like the worst timing. You missed it? Okay. Now I have to go back. If I didn't clip it, I'll have to go back and try to clip it, because it was just like, I was really like deep into my like, okay, so what you would do is that, and of course in the story you can just get them all the way down to 0. But when the game came out with Malgus, you had to do it a certain way. You had to make him go over the rail, over the ledge. And I was like, yeah, you just come over here and you see how like there's this big chasm right here and you just stand on it, and he did his thing. Like, but he was like way up there, like he was up on the top stairs over here, and he just happened to do his like slam. And I was over here, and I was like, and then so you just stand right here, and I went, ah. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. It was the worst feeling in the world to to say, this is where you don't stand right now, and I did the wrong thing. It was just so stupid. Like part of me doesn't really want to go in here just yet, though. I mean, part of me really wants to just go back onto the ship, and then we can, oh, here's a lore for right now, because then it's going to make me do the whole cinematic, and I don't want anybody to miss anything for when we actually do McKeb, you know. So I'm gonna go back up to our ship, yeah, and then we'll save that for another day so we can do all the cinematics at one time. Remember, do it. Come on. Well, like I said, I don't want to like split up the Hutt cartel stuff, you know. All right, so we're here. I didn't expect to drop me off there. I thought maybe I would have to go into the fleet. But anyway, yeah. So it is kind of early. Normally I start streaming about now. I plan on tomorrow doing KOTOR. We'll see. I don't know when I'll stream, though. It may be a little earlier again, maybe closer to like 4 or 5 my time. And that way, if I get far enough, we might be able to finish it up over the weekend. No guarantees, because I know where we're at on Manon now. We still have to do the second part of Manon, and then we have to do the ship battle, and then we go to Korriban, and then after that we go to the Rakata Prime, and then it's over. So that doesn't sound like we would be done over the weekend, but I want to get as much done as I can, seeing as I didn't stream last week. But last weekend I was doing a lot of recording and editing, so you know, if I'm not doing one thing, I'm doing another thing. I can't do both at the same time. So Yep. Anyway, yeah, Bounty Hunter I only have done once though. Yeah, I have a Merc healer, which I really enjoy, and sometimes more than the Sorc healing. Bounty Hunter healing is good. I mean, it's a real good. Oh, I guess Twitch decided to run an ad. It's effective because you have all the armor, you know, and so you're not a squishy, especially if you go into areas. I'm trying to remember. There's a flashpoint, or is it an operation? There's a Rancor at the bottom, and he's got a trainer, and there's like this pit area, and so if you fall, you can get back up, but it's a pain. And if you have a healer or two that's a bounty hunter that's not a squishy, operatives do okay because they're really effective healers. But as a source or a healer, it does make for a hard fight. But that one in particular, I'm trying to remember the exact flashpoint that is, and I think it's Shadow Revan. But anyway, I just remember like having bounty hunter healers, which just made that real super simple. Stupid ads. Sorry, Perry. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, you guys let me know. I mean, like I said, I know we have a couple of votes for operative, and we'll see. Like I said, I just mentioned bounty hunter because I haven't done it very much, and I guess if it's new to me, it'll be new to you guys somewhat. You'll get to experience it with me, you know? But it's really interesting. I don't, from what I do remember about it, the first couple of acts are pretty good. The last one, it's like I could take it or leave it, you know? But I will say, like, when you open up certain planets like Rishi, the bounty hunter comes into its own again. Like, a lot of places are very bounty hunter centric, and so it really feels like you're filling in that niche again. Like, you're okay, this is where I'm supposed to be for my class. It feels like a class quest just because of the type of fights you have there and the lore that's there in that area. It feels good if you're a bounty hunter in that area. Like I said, I do remember taking my second character through Rishi, and I was like, I think I stopped about there, but I was like, okay, this one I like doing this. But then after that, I don't think I would have enjoyed doing the rest of the Eternal Throne because I'd already done it once with another bounty hunter. But yeah, I'll probably check you guys later. I'm just trying to decide if I'm going to get back on Twitch later just to kind of finish up with like another game, but I don't know what I would play. Yeah, if you guys have an opinion, let me know. I know let me pull up my Steam real quick. Hold on. Sorry. Why isn't... See, Windows updated, and it always pisses me off because it always like changes things around on me. I don't want to fire up Dune Awakening because I've just been playing that on my own. I've been doing Infection Free Zone, and I thought there would be a whole bunch of new content, but there's no new content since the last time I played it. And it's believe it or not, it's kind of a cozy stream because nothing really happens, and it's kind of like resource gathering, and you're doing research and this and that, and it's a zombie infested area, and it's pretty cozy, to be honest, because you can kind of like pause everything, talk to Chad, do whatever. So Dave the Diver's an interesting one, Perry, but that's such a commitment. It's such a long game. Like, I like the fact that it's a long game. It's like a 60-hour game, 40 to 60 hour, depending on. It's such a commitment. I've been having a hankering to play KOTOR and KOTOR 2. Been a while since I played either. Just chill and play. Yeah, well, like I said, I've been doing a run on for KOTOR at the same time I'm doing SWTOR. But I've kind of made a commitment that I'm just going to do KOTOR on the weekends. I have to do KOTOR a certain way for it to work. So I couldn't just go from this game to KOTOR. I have to set up my rig a certain way for it to work. If I play any other game or set up any other app besides one or two things like OBS, There's an app I use to run, make sure that it's full frame but doesn't lock my frame. Those two things are about the only thing I can run. Discord, of course. And if I do anything else, like if I were to go from like close this game and open up KOTOR, it would crash. It's just something weird. It has something to do with like the old DirectX software. I don't know. But I can make it run like a dream if it's like the only app I'm running without something else. And even if I open up like certain things like the NVIDIA software, Farthest Frontier. Hey, by the way, Perry, Farthest Frontier soon is going to get an update, and you're going to be able to put diagonal buildings on streets, so you can make streets in rounds. Like you could always do that before, but you couldn't put your buildings in like going in a round. But they're going to have an update for that. Also, I play pinball a lot. If you guys want to watch pinball. I've got a lot of pinball tables. We could fire up Baldur's Gate 3. Make a new character. I haven't done a Dark Urge on stream before. If that's something you would like to see. I've done the Dark Urge, but I've never done it for stream. I've never done it for content either. Because I make a lot of, well, I have in the past, not recently. I've done a lot of Baldur's Gate content for the YouTube channel, and it's been my most successful videos by far. But yeah, maybe we'll do Baldur's Gate 3 with a Dark Urge tonight, just to kind of like, you know, hang out. Nothing serious, just killing folks as a Dark Urge. All right, appreciate everybody being here. Y'all take care. Y'all are the best. And I will be back tomorrow doing KOTOR on YouTube and Twitch. And try to check out the video that I made for KOTOR, the last two. One is the Free the Duros, and the other one's Save the Hunter with the droids. They're not very long videos. One is 3 minutes. The other one's like 8 minutes. But you know, give a comment, whatever. They're slow because YouTube, I put out a video so infrequently nowadays, but I do it because I like doing it. I'm not trying to, like, you know, get over on things. I'm not putting ads in the middle of things. I'm not, you know, whatever. I'm just doing it because I like making the content, you know. But I will check you guys later. Y'all take care. Sure, let's do that. Yeah, let's do a Dark Urge on Baldur's Gate 3. But I gotta, you know, just eat. Maybe I'll take a quick shower, and then I'll come back. We'll fire up Baldur's Gate 3 on Twitch. I don't want to do it on YouTube just yet. I think I'm just going to be on Twitch because it's not a game that I'm going to be coming back to over and over and over because we already committed to SWTOR and KOTOR for the moment. All right? So I'll check you guys later. Bye-bye.